the Wooting clan Wooting 60HE, the hottest commodity not just for Osu players but also any other competitive games and also keyboard enthusiasts. Now, a fair bit of amount of time has passed since people have realized why it's so good and should be bought. There are still no other keyboards that compare to the Wooting 60HE and the Wooting 2HE. But now that the dust has settled a bit, let's go over the features and see if the Wooting 60HE lives up to its prior hype. Before we go over the features, let's look at the unboxing experience of the keyboard. It comes in a box. Wow, I know, but in all fairness, the unboxing experience is really great. You'll find the keyboard with a dust cover and the infamous strap. Once you lift up the cardboard underneath, you'll find the braided cable and a bag of some goodies. Those include a keycap puller, the thing you use to attach the strap to your keyboard, and 2 extra switches. But no switch puller? It's nice that Wooting did include 2 extra switches because sometimes they just break, but how am I going to remove them if you do not include a switch puller? Of course, switch pullers are not expensive, but this keyboard is going to be, for a lot of people, their first, so I think including a switch puller would be very nice. And to end off, you also find the postcard from Wooting. Pretty cool. Overall, the unboxing experience was great. 9 out of 10. 1 minus because there's no switch puller. Now let's hear what the keyboard sounds out of the box. If you're wondering what I was writing, it was an announcement in my brand new Discord server. That's right, you can join it by clicking the link down in the description below. Anyways, you can hear that the keyboard sounds surprisingly good for an out-of-the-box gaming keyboard. Definitely better than like 90% of other gaming keyboards you can get. And well, there are a couple of reasons why that is the case. First of all, the board does not feature the floating keycap design, which makes it sound much better, and in my opinion it also looks better. Plus, if you don't like the case, you can change it, but more on customizations later. Secondly, the keyboard comes with pre-lubed stabilizers. Although they're not lubed super well, they still do make the keyboard sound a lot better. Thirdly, the keyboard comes with not only case foam, but also plate foam, which makes the keyboard sound less hollow and deeper. And lastly, the switches. These switches are unique to Wooting keyboards, and only the new ones, aka the Wooting 60HE and the Wooting 2HE. They're made in collaboration with Gateron. And yes, this keyboard is hot swap, but you can only use these switches with the specific PCB because the switches are Hall effect. And this technology allows for some very interesting and, quite frankly, OP things in games. The first and obvious thing that this keyboard allows is custom activation points, whether you want the key to activate only when you bottom out or activate with just blowing on the keyboard. But see, with traditional keyboards, there's this massive problem that can occur if you change activation points. Let's say we changed it to 1mm. Yeah, the keyboard will activate when you travel 1mm down, but it will stay active in those 3 extra millimeters. And to deactivate the keyboard, you need to be above the 3mm range. So activating is faster, but deactivating, if you bottom out, is slower. So what would be the solution to this? Well, Wooting has it, and it's called Rapid Trigger. You've probably already heard how revolutionary this feature can be. It allows for sharp movements in competitive games like Apex Legends, Valorant, Counter-Strike, and many more. But let's be honest, the community that has been changed the most with this keyboard is the Osu community. The reason why Rapid Trigger took the Osu community by storm and revolutionized the Osu meta is because it allows for a very interesting tapping technique. You can let your fingers travel very short distances, which in turn gives you more stamina and more speed because you don't have to move them as much. In theory, you could do this with regular keyboards, but it's very tough to master, if even possible to do it consistently, and with Rapid Trigger, it's possible and easy to do by anyone. Now, a quick disclaimer, the rapid trigger feature will not make your fingers move faster, duh. You will be able to stream a certain BPM only if your fingers are able to move that fast. While rapid trigger does make it easier to tap and persevere stamina at your peak BPM, it will not increase it. That only comes with practice. Besides the glaring advantage the Wooting keyboard can give to you while playing Osu, even without rapid trigger, it's so nice to play Osu with this keyboard. It will sound like I'm shilling this keyboard, well, because partly I am, but this keyboard genuinely feels like it was made for Osu. The switches just feel perfect for it. But obviously, at the end of the day, it all comes down to preference. There are top players like Whitecat and Ryuke who both still use their HyperX keyboard even though they have the Wooting. Even I forgot to turn on rapid trigger for one of my Osu sessions and I still managed to set a top play. That just goes to show that a good foundation beats any feature on any peripheral. Now, while there are definitely many positive things you can say about the Wooting, I do have some negative things I want to touch on. Firstly, the keycaps. They are double shot PBT, which means that they are very durable, but I think they are just not good. Their texture is bad, they don't feel nice to type with, and they're very subpar for gaming. It feels like the surface area for the keycap is smaller than some other keycaps. Obviously, you can swap the keycaps, which is what I did, but my point still stands. Second of all, the case. The case is made out of plastic, which is not my gripe. However, what is though, is the hump that the case has at the front. I have thumb problems in my left arm, which results in pain if I hold it at a specific angle, and sometimes I cannot hold my hand comfortably because the hump is in the way. And even in general use, the hump sometimes is in the way and feels like an inconvenience. Thirdly, the software. Overall, the software is very user-friendly and easy to read and understand, so good job on that. However, what I have a problem with are the lighting settings. Now, I don't really care about lighting effects too much on keyboards, but I think with the Wootility software, I think the options are just too limited. There are not that many settings in which you can do something on your own to make the keyboard feel more personalized for you. If you use the static setting, you can change the color of any key. That is good, yes. But let's say I want to use the static effect as a wave. I can't, because specific lighting effects can only be presented in specific presets and you cannot make your own presets. And the presets you get, they're very basic and just, I don't know, they're boring. I just think there should be more customization that you could do with the lighting. But speaking of customization, oh boy, if you don't like the look of your Wooting 60HE, you can change that. Don't like the case the keyboard comes with? Swap it out with any universal 60% keyboard case. Want to loop the stabilizers? They're clip-on, so you can easily take them off. Want to change the keycaps? Well, you can do that with almost any mechanical keyboard, but Wooting also allows you to do that. Maybe you don't know how to do this. Well, Wooting has a channel on YouTube where you can find many tutorials on how to customize your Wooting 60HE, so you can make it into a keyboard that you like. So, in conclusion, the keyboard is beyond great. If you want the best performance in gaming and overall use, I don't think there's any other option that would compete with what the Wooting 60HE offers. The Hall effect switches are genuinely revolutionary, not just in the gaming keyboard market but also in the regular keyboard market as a whole. I think Wooting have single-handedly started a new chapter in the keyboard industry. When it eventually becomes more readily available, I think it will take over the keyboard market as a whole. I'd even go as far as to say the Wooting 60HE currently, objectively, is the best gaming keyboard you can get. Well, if you are patient enough. Well, that's about it. Thank you for watching. If you want to see how someone plays Osu without using a keyboard, but rather his feet, well, you know where to go.